Good evening. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a great evening. I hope everybody's good, and I want to send my love to everyone, and let them know that love is alive. And the people that support me, I appreciate it, and I feel you, and I hope everything's okay. The energy I'm channeling is really heavy. It's heavy, but it's a real balanced mixture of your male and feminine side, okay, for me. And I want to try to use that in order to convey a message tonight. So, I want to start with critical race theory. Critical race theory is Marxist communist ideology being taught through our K through 12, through the universities, through society, through the corporations. They're trying to implement that in the military, and it won't be tolerated. There's too many people standing up at every level, okay, voicing their opinion, using the system that we have in a legal manner, okay, to dissect this shit one by one, okay, at the school boards, the teachers, the superintendents, the school boards, the union, all down the line. Superintendent Cooper, I'm calling you out. You are the plausible deniability for the Mason School Board. I highly suggest you contact Project Veritas, America's Principles Project, momsforliberty.org, stopcriticalracetheory.com, the Heritage Foundation, and tell your story before it's too late. You are the plausible deniability for the Mason School Board. I wanted to talk about something that hit my mind. I'm looking at things in a totally different light now. And something happened I guess 96. Yeah, 96 or 97 at Wright Pat. So, there was, how can I say it? The way it was set up that all of the military supervised the military, and the civilians supervised the civilians, right? But so my office was next to the chiefs and then next to the branch superintendent. So there was a young man, he was a young brother, okay? And the chief called me in, and it's not unusual. He called me in on a counseling session because he wanted a witness, I believe, okay? But, and I can't remember what the young man, what the issue was. I don't know. It could have been a string of things, and I came in, and he was like at the tail end of it, and I think he was telling him, hey, you're going to process to leave the Air Force, I think is what it was. Now, I don't know all the circumstances, okay? But he was, of course, he was not happy, but he was talking about Tupac at the time, right? So, not knowing the context, okay, of what I understand a little bit better today about Tupac, his status, and basically what he was fighting for, okay? So, having said that, I guess what I'm trying to say is I look at that in a totally different light because I don't know what he went through. I don't know what brought him to that point to where the chief was like, this is it, right? We've had enough and you're leaving the Air Force. So I wanted to bring that up today just to say that I look at that in a totally different light these days. I got a little difficulty. I don't think that's going to work either. There we go. All right. I think that's going to work. Okay. Anyway, I look at that in a totally different light because growing up without a father, okay, I looked at things from a totally different point of view, all right? and not having that male leadership. So I'm saying that that is a big impact on people, big impact on children when they're growing up. So I wanted to share that tonight and give that perspective. I don't know where he was coming from. I caught the tail end of it. He was referencing Tupac. So perhaps it was something else that I was missing during that time. Okay, so you know when things are getting real, okay? When, so your friends, right? Your friends and family, all right? Your friends and family are, you want to give to them and try to provide to them. And, you know, with open heart and with love. But the days when you come to realize that these folks, okay, are not there to help you. They're not there smiling in your face as a true friend. They're just stabbing you in the back and trying to use you to fill up their own energy, okay? Now, when our friends, okay, mentioned after, you know, it was known that we were having problems having children. Me and my ex-wife, Lourdes, okay? So it was known that my sperm count was very low, okay? So it was mentioned to me, hey, why don't we just have my husband, he'll get her pregnant, and that'll work fine, won't it? Signal, right there. This was this was in the 90s, okay? So that kind of shame and degradation that's been done to people through the years, okay? It makes you realize what this is really about. Because I know there's been a lot of trickery and deception when it comes to moving children around, right? And how they're placed and where they're placed and for what reasons they're being placed. So, you know, I look at that in a totally different light, too. The shame and degradation that would come in that, as far as having, you know, your child, another man's child with your wife. That's evil. That's getting back to the core evils that's going on, in my opinion. Okay. But I take a look at that in context now. It was a signal to me, all right? It was a signal there. And that was part of the MO, right? Okay. To get to know that personal information about you to the point where they know you better than they know yourself, they think. But it also sets up the situation where you have control issues, right? So you're not really free. If you're under the control, let's just say they set up a weaker male with a stronger female, because that's what they want, whoever that is. But it's been my experience that perhaps that's been orchestrated, okay? If you have a weak male and you have a strong female, and of course, and there's land grabs involved, okay? Or control of the property, control of the family, and then later on, still control in a monopoly type situation that has been built to us as a community for which we all have the same equal rights. These are my opinions, please. Form your own opinions. I really want you to, you know, I really do. Because I've been wrong, okay? And I'll be wrong again, and I'll admit it. It's much better that way, you know? But along with those property grabs, okay, and the strong female matched with a weak male or a demasculine male, they may be on the down low. I don't know, all right? But that would fall in line with some major acquisitions, okay? It would. It really would, from my experience. And that would be Alfred and Blanche Stubbs. And it would also be Earl and Joyce Boyer. All right? There was also mention of a land grab from a Truman. So, you know, today I'm looking at, and I don't know who gave this analogy. I wish I knew. I don't know. But if you look at your family as a crime family, all right? And just like Clark, the chiefs, you know, they knew the usual suspects. They stand out, you know? So it gets real, you know, when your friends and family, that inner circle. So I'm here tonight to call it out. There's been too much obsession over me my whole life, but especially when I moved back to town. And if I go out and stand my ground and do good things in the world, somehow people don't like that. And you know what? That's their problem, not my problem. So I'm here tonight to call out the stalkers, you know, like in our circle when we grew up. Those people peeping in windows, you know, creepy fucking shit, creepy ass shit. Those days are coming to an end. When it comes to family and friends, I got to call out my family. Faye Matthews, Lanny Matthews. The obsession with me all my life. Frank Beauchamp, Frank Boyer, David Grail, Joey Dorcho, Jenny Jackson, Joe Jackson. Something about the obsession and trying to find out too much personal business. I understand petty larceny, okay, and peeping toms and all these things, right? But over the years and the habitual obsession and then the old style bullying, okay, male or female, doesn't matter. These things can escalate, okay, through the years. Where they turn into identity theft, insurance fraud, blocked positions, jobs being lost, 9/11 calls. I'm looking at everything totally different now. Totally different. Because this is our time, okay? I'm standing up to say there's a strange obsession there, and something needs to come out about that. In this community, do you want to live in a community where that kind of gang stalking and activity takes place? That's really the question, you know. And usually when it comes down to MOs, it's projecting the hate on someone else. And the sad part about it is, when you go through these things as a chosen one, okay, and you got to get over these hurdles, there's only one way, and that's to look him in the eye and say the devil is a lie. Nobody's taking that power from us. We're standing up for our country. We're taking it back systematically, forcefully, with legal means, in order to weed out this kind of corruption and terrorism in our communities. Now, when you start graduating from these cyber crimes and identity theft, when you get to that level, exactly what are you protecting? Are you protecting the pedophilia? Are you protecting how your goons run their operation? Are you using sex as a weapon? Are you using rape and terrorism and intimidation in order to keep people quiet? That's what I'm calling out. Tory Morris. Tory ran for Secretary of State. She was not successful. Frank LaRose kept her name off the ballot. Republican GOP rhinos. okay? They've been at it for a long time. And I think what we're seeing is at the macro and at the local level exactly what's going on, okay, and how their enforcers are used. Frank LaRose tried to keep Tory off the ballot as an independent. She sued him and she won, okay, in Ohio Supreme Court. So she's done more to uncover voter fraud, election fraud in Ohio than anyone else I know. The other thing is, she's got a lawsuit now, and I don't know where it will end up. But it is for the people's right to inspect the machines and count our votes during an election. And the state of Ohio is telling us no, and that's not the case. We are the government. We own the machines, okay? And if we have the right to go inspect them, Tory has motivated a lot of people, okay, in order to wake up and get a better idea of how we've been kept enslaved in a system to make us think that everything's fine and that the government is actually for us, when that's not the case. So you can find her work at TorySays.com. There's a lot of good articles. January 6th, election fraud, Clinton, Aberdeen, all down the line. It's all there. So, President Trump was right about our Trump derangement syndrome. He was right about our freedom of speech. President Trump was right about our First Amendment rights, Pizzagate and Comet Pizza. He was right about critical race theory. President Trump was right. He was right about Common Core. President Trump was right about the China trade imbalance and China manipulating the currency in order to gain an undue advantage in business with the United States. President Trump was right about Obama's birth certificate. President Trump was right about Clinton and her witch hunt. Uranium One, the Steele dossier. I read the lawsuit today that President Trump filed. It's a great day. It's a great day in America, y'all, you know. President Trump was right about Uranium One, the Steele dossier. President Trump was right about the Iranian nuclear deal, okay, and John Kerry. That's treason right before our eyes. President Trump was right about the Iranian nuclear deal. I repeated that. President Trump was right about the European Union. He was right about NATO. President Trump was right about Senator McCain. President Trump was right about the border. President Trump was right about the Keystone Pipeline and our energy independence as a matter of national security. We don't need to go in any foreign country and ask for energy. We have it right here. We have the energy, we have the technology, we have the manpower, woman power. We have everything we need. President Trump proved that to everybody. President Trump was right about the Keystone Pipeline. He was right as commander-in-chief to empower the combatant commanders in order for them to go do their mission. Because everybody in the world knows. They'll tell you. They know. Nobody can stop the U.S. military. President Trump was right about Syria and Iraq. He was right about January 6th and the people's right to assemble and to voice our grievances to government, okay, without interference by the FBI, okay. President Trump was right about the election. Thank you very much. I want to say, during a spiritual battle, it gets real when, the main offenders are right there. The ones, that's where the discerning comes. But together is how we move forward. It's not about one person. This is not about me, okay? It's about everyone's spiritual journey. For me, I'm really serious about these things, about how God has given us the abundance in the earth, how it's all been stolen from us and distorted. And that as we do our, whatever it is that we're doing to move things forward in a positive manner, that's the ticket. In order for us to get to the point where we can put the land back to the rightful owners, and we could put the money back that's been stolen, and we could put the compound interest on top of that money, okay? Because we're talking years and decades now, to the rightful owners. That means everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, I feel you, especially the people that are with me. I thank you. Thank you very much. Please check out my store on Etsy. It's Duman's. There's military t-shirts, some old, some new. I think that they're relevant today. And I thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America. And keep on keeping on.